We're kicking off back to school week with a list of essential supplies your student cannot start the year without.
And don't miss Seth's chance to wrestle with the best when he steps into the ring to try the sport on live TV.
Welcome back to Mass Appeal. It's a documentary that takes an in-depth, close-up look at the world of independent wrestling. This inspiring story is for everyone to see, not just those with a love for wrestling. And here to share more about the film are Mark Rattelle, the filmmaker, and Frankie Roda and Antonio Thomas, two of the wrestlers. Thank you all for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Tell us what inspired you to create the film.
So I like to tell stories about real-life people that do interesting things, and you know, I knew these guys, and I kind of knew some stuff about wrestling, and I thought it would be a great thing to show the world. I mean, a lot of people, when they say wrestling, they think WWF, fireworks, they think Hulk Hogan, but really, I mean, there's a whole world of these guys that wrestle in bingo halls, and they wrestle in high school auditoriums, and you know, they're trying to make it. So. And
it's like any professional sport, really. Yeah, right. People in the minors trying to get their way up, and
sort of like a AAA league for wrestling.
Oh, okay. So take us through the movie without giving us any spoiler alerts.
Yeah. So I follow three wrestlers, Frankie, Roda, Sarath, and Arion Morrison. And they're all kind of three different wrestlers, and they all have different goals and are doing different things. And we just kind of see them in real life, see them training, see how they balance wrestling. And
so why is it important to you to shed some light on this issue?
Well, you know, like I said, I don't know if everyone knows about this world where these guys are just doing dangerous things and beating up their bodies in bingo halls, sometimes in front of 20 people for their hobbies. I mean, one wrestler said to me, I said, "Why do you do this?" And he said, "Because he doesn't like softball." So, I mean, some of these guys do it for a hobby, and it's just totally interesting to me that they do that.
So what brought you to it, Frankie?
Into wrestling?
Yes.
It was a dream. My whole life, especially as small as I am, it just made me want to be a wrestler even more. So just that goal to prove myself.
Well, you definitely have so far. And you, Antonio, you've been both in WWE and in independent wrestling, correct?
Correct.
Talk about your experiences in both of those.
They're very similar, but they're both different. As Mark stated, in the independents, you can be in front of 20, 30 people. So you have a more intimate setting, and you're playing directly. You have that crowd interaction with the fans. WWE is a much larger scale, obviously. You have the pyro, it's the superheroes, comic book characters come to life. So that's more for TV. That's more for TV production, but it's also on the live events. You're still playing to the crowd, but on a much larger stage.
What's it like getting into a character? I know you have your everyday persona and your wrestling persona. What's it like developing that character? What's it like being in the character?
The character has to be an extension of yourself. You can't really be something you're not. It has to be organic and an extension, and you just kind of ramp it up. If you fake something, or if you're a character that really isn't you, the fans will pick up on it. And so it just needs to be an extension, and just be real, and just be crazy and have fun with it.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it's about. It's about, you know, you go through all the bumps and bruises and the no paydays and the injuries, but at the end, it's all about fun and a love of doing it. So,
Frankie, let's talk about the filmmaking process. What was it like to act in a film?
Oh, it was fantastic. I mean, it wasn't so much acting, because it was really just Mark documenting what we do every week, every weekend. First and foremost, it was great just because of the exposure. But going beyond that, so much of what you do in indie wrestling goes unrecognized. So this was a chance to really show what we do, what we go through. So it was fantastic.
It seems like you go through a lot. Have either of you ever been injured in play?
Many times.
Yeah.
I got numerous concussions. I tore a hip, and actually hip muscle. And actually, I'm just coming off shoulder surgery now. I broke my clavicle and completely tore up my shoulder last year in Japan, and just finally a year later getting back into the ring.
Well, it's good to see you're getting back into it.
Yeah, it's nice to be back.
Now, what was it like finishing a film? What a sense of a completion like that? Because you did everything soup to nuts, correct?
Right, yeah. Definitely, it's great. I mean, that's what we're trying to do now. We're trying to get this shown. I mean, because that's the fun part of it, really. So, you know, I think, you know, it's the same thing with wrestling. Like, when you finish, when you're done with a show, there's a sort of like, you know, buzz you feel just being finished and having completed something and doing stuff that you love. So it's definitely a good feeling, and I hope people see the film and they like it.
Well, I would assume it's amazing. So I want to thank you for sharing the film with us. I want to thank you all for coming here. And after the break, it's going to be interesting.
You ready?
Yeah, I think
ready
so.
to step in there? All right.
Thanks again.
It's time for Leisure Appeal.
And the moment has finally arrived. You're about to see a tag team wrestling match featuring wrestlers Frankie, Arion, Star Maker, Mikaze, and of course, Seth Stutman. And Mark, what we're seeing here is a tag team match with independent wrestlers from our area.
Yeah, this is definitely a great exposition of their talent, and these guys are great. Oh, I think we're going to see Seth coming in here.
Oh, this is his moment to shine.
He's definitely pretty brave to get in there, I think.
Yes, I think so. Better him than me.
This is great.
He's ready for it.
These guys are all trained wrestlers, and I think that's pretty important to say that don't try this at home.
Right, of course, exactly. It definitely is a serious sport that training is necessary, for sure.
So a nice arm wringer there by Seth.
Now Seth is on the same team as Frankie, right?
In the tag match, we can tag each other in, so now Frankie's in. Seth can get out of there and take a breather.
Looks like he needs a breather. I should have a water bottle there ready for him.
Oh, big spine buster there from Arion Morrison.
So how long does a typical match last, would you say?
Well, a match can go from, especially on the Indies, it could be a 4-minute match. Sometimes they do hour-long matches. So.
I can imagine how exhausted they'd be after this. And this is what we're really seeing here is just really a sneak peek. It's really just 5 minutes.
Right. So these guys could go forever.
Oh my gosh.
Flip there from Mikaze.
I have to ask, is some of this acting, some of it, or is it?
Well, I mean, it's wrestling, and that's.
But I mean, I'm not familiar with wrestling. I mean, obviously, with the fall, it's gotta hurt. But is it kind of like a spring?
Yeah, well, there's no spring there. I mean, you learn how to do everything. You learn how to make it, and that's what you train for, so you don't hurt anybody.
Right. But it is. I think part of it is obviously the sport, but part of it is kind of theatrical. It's like a show.
Right. Yeah.
They're performing in a sense.
Seth, big move there.
Oh, yeah, Seth.
He's going for the pin. Wow. I can't believe it.
So he just won?
Yeah.
Get out. Is that the match?
Yeah, I guess it is.
Oh, yes. That was awesome. Hey, congratulations, Seth and Frankie, Arion, of course. Hey, you guys want to hop down real quick?
Absolutely, I do. Let's hop down.
Okay, so I was talking to Mark.
Yeah.
That was a great job. So how did it feel to be in the ring with professional wrestlers?
Well, when you're the best, you know you're the best. I got the best guy here, so we had a good time, right?
And Frankie, how did Seth do?
He did a great job. He won the match for us.
You see me out there? I was nuts.
So what happened this morning? Did you train? Did you learn how to?
I trained a
do
lot
all
this
this?
morning. Yeah, we did some rounds, but mostly it's just instinct and these guys, the guns, really. Yeah.
And I heard you have a little injury too. So you did that with a little.
Yeah, my knee's taped up.
Yeah.
And you got to do what you got to do. I had to beat these punks today, so I beat these punks
It was
today.
really impressive. How would you like to have done that for an hour?
Not as much. No, not as much as a general rule. I'm sure Frankie can do it. This guy's He's already trained for this
So
center
I
thing.
can tell, yes, look at him. So Frankie, would you say that Seth would be welcome to be in your team any day?
I think Seth may have a future in this.
Who knows, Seth? This is a future waiting to happen, but you can't leave us here. Don't go off and be a pro
maybe I
wrestler.
can do both.
What are we gonna do without you? Well, good job, guys. That was really entertaining. It was great. And be sure to stay tuned to find out some of the best websites available for all the information you could ever possibly need. Stay tuned.
So stay tuned for 22 News at noon coming up next.
Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. And don't forget, September 3rd, catch these guys wrestling.
But now.
We want a rematch. We want a rematch.